Scott from Scott's Bass Lessons here. Hope you're well. If you haven't checked out scottsbasslessons.com yet, make sure you do so straight after this video, because there's literally hours of free videos just like this one. And when you do check it out, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter as well, because that way I can send you the free subscriber only videos that only my subscribers get, like my secret best stuff that's not on YouTube. So make sure you check it out after this lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to be talking about, it's like a double stop type of vibe. I'm sure you just heard the riff that I've just been playing at the beginning of this video, and you saw that I was doing, I'm just going to show you now, this kind of thing. Now this thing, it's like a double stop type of, it's like a chording type of thing, but it's something I came across when I was watching Pino Palladino when I was a nipper. And I noticed he did it a lot on his fretless. He had this this little thing that he did all the time, and the more I've seen other bass players, the more this crops up. So I just thought I'd share it with you so you can get it in your playing as well. Now the riff that we're playing over is a C dominant 7 chord, and this is really important because you need to know how you can transfer the information I'm going to tell you today into your own riffs and use these double stops on other chords as well. So if you don't understand this information I'm going to tell you, you'll be able to transfer that, and that's really important, being able to transfer the information to the other things that you're doing as well. So it's in a C, it's a C dominant 7 groove, okay, and the C dominant chord tones are, so C, E, G, B flat, C, and again C, E, G, B flat, C. It's really important that we know what chord tones are within a certain chord, because that means we can, if say for instance we're jamming on a C7 groove like we're going to be doing today, we've got so many more options. We don't just sit there. We don't just sit there on the C. We can use any of them chord tones within that chord, okay, play that over the groove and it'll work. So instead of just going, we can play. Anything like that. As long as it's in the chord, it will work over that chord that the keyboard or the guitar player is playing. Now let's first of all look at the groove that we're playing before we start looking at these double stops. It's a real simple groove. It's kind of based on an octave pattern, which is a slide up to the C there, and then I just go down to the flat 7 of the chord. If you remember, root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7, that B flat's to flat 7, that's there, that B flat, and I'm kind of hitting the open E there and hammering on. That's how I get that sound. So that slowly, open E, hammer on the C, octave, and then I move down a fret and then down a fret. So 2, 3, 4, and then that's when I'm going to put the double stops in. And this is the gag. There's like multiple places you can put these double stops in over this C dominant chord. Now the first one that I play is I'm barring the D and the G with these two, well, this one finger, there's not two fingers there, this one finger, D and G, and then I'm hammering on with my 3rd finger. So I'm still getting that note ringing underneath, and I'm doing it again. It's twice, and then cutting it off. And again. And this works because I'm hammering onto the major third of the C dominant, and then that G that's ringing, that's just the fifth. So there's the chord, and we're just picking a small portion out of it. So here we go, 2, a 3, a 4. So let's look at other places we can use that exact same shape, just bar with the first finger and hammer on with that third finger. Well, there's one right down here which I really like actually, especially over dominant chords. I've got my first finger on the root and I'm barring across just as we did before, and I'm holding down the 11th or the 4th, they're the same thing, of that C. So up the C, there's a C, that's the 11th or the 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding it down with our first finger and then hammering on again to the 9th of the C. Gives it a completely different vibe. And the last one, so there's 3 main ones you can do on a dominant chord. That was the first one, hammering on to the 3rd, then the 9th, and the last one over the C7 is right up here, and it's going on to the 13th. The 13th of C7 is A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, D. You just go up the C Mixolydian scale, which is the scale that fits over the C7 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm holding that first finger down. You have to kind of sort of squeeze your hand in there if you're playing a bass that hasn't got 24 frets. And you hold the G down with your first finger and the C. You bar it, so you're only using one finger, and then you're hammering on to that A. But make sure you've got that C still ringing out. So let's hear all 3 of them now, and then we'll play it along with the backing track. If you want this backing track, by the way, if you hit the link just down below, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the link down below, it'll take you through to the page that you can download it from. Or if you're watching this on scotsbasslessons.com, it is right below this video. So here's the riff, and we're just gonna, I'll circulate round these different double stops. So a 2, 3, 4. To the 3rd. Third again. Now let's do the 9th. Now the 13th. That's the one that Pino likes. So now let's listen to it on the backing track. So hopefully when now you've heard it with the backing track, you can hear what colour or what vibe each different double stop brings to the situation. And that's the key, doing this on top of something you can hear how it affects the flavour of the groove. When you're practicing it just with your bass, sometimes it can be a little bit ambiguous going. It sounds cool, but how does it actually sound on the chord? So make sure you download that backing track and check that out. Then I want you to do this with your own grooves, yeah? Find, say for instance, if you had something in G7 or something like that, try and find out, you know, okay, here's where they are with a C7 groove, where are they with a G7 groove? The G7 groove will be there, so we can have, well, they're all over the place. All over the place. And you can do it with loads and loads of different chord sequences as well. Even if the chord only happens for a small, like a bar or something like that, just a small amount of time, you can still fit one of these double stops in. In fact, sometimes you could just play a double stop instead of playing the root of the chord. There's loads of different things you can do with this. So I really want you to go and investigate it in your own time and get it into your own playing. If you have enjoyed this lesson, make sure you click like underneath this video. If you're watching it on my website, Scott's Bass Lessons, there's also a like down there as well. Other than that, take it easy, get in the shed, and I'll see you soon.